All right, good morning, everybody. Thanks for joining us today. I'm going to convene the Marion County Board of Commissioners meeting. Today is Wednesday, October 6th. It's 9 a.m. We're in the Senator Hearing Room at 555 Court Street, Northeast Salem. And as Commissioner Cameron says, as always, please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. Now, every week we start with public comment. We have none today, so we're going to move right into presentations. And our first one is United Way 2021 Employee Contribution Campaign Kickoff. And joining us today is Stephanie Bobb, the Resource Development Coordinator of the United Way of the Mid-Willamette Valley. And if you could just join us right up here at the front.
Thanks, Danielle.
Good morning, everyone. As Danielle said, I am Stephanie Bobb. I am the Resource Development Director. Excuse me, I just got a promotion.
Congratulations.
Thank you. So I am going to run through United Way and what we're up to lately. Some of you I know, some of you are pretty aware of United Way and what we do. We've got some great projects coming up and some recaps for you for 2020. As some of you know, about 4 years ago, United Way made a pivot and changed the way that we do business. And we focus now on innovative, adaptive philanthropy, meaning that every time something comes up, we're willing to adapt and move in that direction and help whatever needs to be done. However, we haven't stopped with our four basic needs, or four basic focus groups. Developing housing for all, which is obviously very important, meeting basic needs, building capacity, and strengthening children and families. I'm going to show you some slides that reflect what we're doing in each one of those areas. Unfortunately, the ALICE report is a little outdated. These are numbers from 2019. ALICE is asset limited, income constrained, employed, and United Way of the Northwest is the one that pulls these numbers, and we don't have those numbers from 2020. Regardless, if you look at Marion County, the ALICE households, 35% of our county live at the ALICE rate, and 13% of those are affected by poverty. And again, those numbers are probably higher because 2020 was just a really rough year. Housing for all. In Marion County, according to the PIT count, 974 individuals are homeless. Of those 974, 431 of them are women, 223 of those women have families, and 76 veterans. The slide that you're seeing is our low barrier women's shelter called Safe Sleep. We're going to have our 2-year anniversary in December. We house up to 14 women each night from 7 p.m. to 7 a.m., give them a safe place to be. They can get a meal, get cleaned up. We provide pajamas for them. And a lot of these ladies are doing chores around there because they just love being there and helping out, because finding volunteers has been tough. And we are working with Arches for wraparound services to help them transition, those that can transition into permanent housing. This is our new project. I'm super excited about it. We are building cottage clusters. What you see is a 350 square foot studio with a full bathroom and a kitchenette. These houses are going to focus directly on serving seniors, women, and veterans. And they're meant to be transitional. They're not meant to be forever homes. But they are going to be $350 a month. So when you think about $350 a month, that seems super, super low. However, these individuals who are getting Social Security, disability, or even have dipped into some sort of retirement, their monthly income is around $1,100. So when you look at that, they just can't afford housing. It's a plain and simple. So 1/3 of their income will go directly to rent at $350. Our first phase is 11 cottages. We will have hopefully 50 built by the end of 2022. Rhonda is on a mission to get this thing done. I know that some of you or all of you are super aware of what happened with the wildfires, and we're still continuing our long-term recovery. We did give $250,000 to the Detroit Foundation to help with the community center and get that up and going. I know that there's been others that have also partnered. The total dollar amount statewide for the wildfire damage is $1.15 billion.
I assume that everything is still projecting because Trump hasn't come out, so I guess we're gonna.
Yeah,
It's just as soon as you got to that slide, it went dark, so.
I can keep going.
Yeah, I think keep going.
Okay.
And we'll be notified if we're
Okay.
caught in dead air. Okay.
Grant funding. Some of you may or may not know that we partner with Willamette University in their MBA program, and we give them $150,000 every year. And their grant program are the ones that go out and do the site visits. They make the determination of where those dollars go and present the checks. So it's our dollars, but we're allowing these individuals who are in school to get their MBAs to really get into some philanthropy and help out some charities that they feel is worth some money. So in Marion County in 2020, the grant funding put in $93,936, and that was all directed by the students at Willamette, with the overseeing of us, obviously, but they drive that ship. We have a Good 360 Gifts and Kinds program, and this program has been extremely robust since the wildfires. We got inundated with donations and ended up doing a hub during the wildfires, and we have a partnership with Amazon, and we pick up about 20 to 30 pallets a week of items that are either returned, not sold, or the person that was selling those products decided to no longer do that. So we get a lot of new stuff, and it could be anywhere from a wooden nose glasses holder to car parts. I mean, it's an array. And if anyone wants to do any volunteerism, going to the Good 360 warehouse and opening those boxes is like Christmas. And it's so much fun. It's awesome. But in 2020, we distributed $2.2 million worth of kinds and goods. We have to value the pallets when they come in, and then, of course, report them. This is a new program. When SCEF dissolved, we took over the Enrichment Academy.
Stephanie,
Yeah.
I don't think that the public can see your slides, so can you describe the slide or the program as
Absolutely.
you're discussing it? Because I'm pretty sure we can see you, just not those.
So the Enrichment Academy was a program at SCEF, and it's a before-school program or after-school. Before the times changed with the schoolings, they were doing after-school programs, but now they're doing before-school programs. Specifically concentrating on Inglewood, Washington, Highland, and kindergarten, which are grade schools in Salem, grades K to 5. And enrichment means that they do little projects. It could be a math project or a science project, but they do little projects to help these kids stay on grade level and support the families in any way that they need support. And then the Aspire program, which is pretty awesome, works in tandem with the AVID programs in the high schools. And specifically, we're at Claggett, Parrish, Stevens, McKay, and North. To date, this year, we're serving 700 students, and all of these schools are Title I schools. And this program is run by Jody Blackman, and it has been an incredible program moving forward, and she has about 40 employees. So we have expanded exponentially just to bring this program on. We have a project called Resource Cabinets. It is a black cabinet that's full of hygiene supplies, clothing, shoes, and they are rolled into Title I schools. Specifically, if they already have a closet, similar to Claggett in McNary, they have a closet on property. So we give them items to put into that closet. And they do a great job of backfilling and getting items for themselves. But if you can't see the picture, but in the picture, it's just showing some basic items, the zip-up sweatshirts, socks, underwear, things that really aren't necessarily high on the priority list for the families that are in these schools. This project is super important to me. It's called the Red Cart Project. And it's in conjunction with Women United, which is an arm of United Way. We meet the first Friday of every month, and anyone's welcome to come. But Red Cart started when Falls City School District reached out to us and said, can we have $1,500 for feminine hygiene products? And we're sure, but let's dive into that a little bit more. And so we called some other schools in other areas, and it turned out that Falls City wasn't the only one that was having students missing up to 1 week of school every single month due to lack of feminine hygiene products. And when you think about the school year, that means those students are missing 9 weeks of school, which is an entire semester. The Red Cart Project was born. We got an abundance of donations of tampons and pads. What you see is that, or what you saw, was the packaging, and these are each 1 week supply. They're rolled into the school's bathrooms, and the students can self-advocate for and get the items that they need. So currently, right now, in 2021, we have placed 18 new carts that are serving approximately 1,482 students. So I absolutely love this project, and it's something that just is really robust in our office. So never doubt a small group of thoughtful, committed citizens can change the world. Indeed, it's the only thing that ever has. So with that, are there any questions for me regarding United Way, the campaign, our dollars?
Maybe talk about the campaign a little bit. I think we've got plenty of new employees in the county, including myself, that don't know a lot about what the relationship or partnership looks like between the county and United Way in this particular project.
Sure, thank you. United Way is the United Way employee campaign is something that gives you an opportunity to be philanthropic and have money taken out of your checks and directed to United Way. What most people don't know is if you elect to have money taken out of your check, there's a part of that form that you can designate those dollars, meaning if United Way isn't necessarily where you want your dollars to go and you're already really passionate about another nonprofit, you can designate those dollars, and United Way slides that money through our organization, no admin fees, no overhead costs, and goes directly to that particular organization. So we give an opportunity for you to have an easy way to give on a monthly basis, and that dollars can go anywhere you want. And I want to make sure that individuals understand that we serve Marion, Polk, and Yamhill counties only. So this is not a worldwide, this is not a statewide, it is just for those 3 counties.
Great, thank you. Commissioner, do you have any questions?
No, I just want to say thank you for your work. I know you guys have done good work up in the canyon to help fire victims, and I appreciate what you're doing with the schools, providing some of those things that are hard. I have family members whose parents didn't necessarily provide some of those things to them, and it's just hard when you're 13 or 14, and so I think that's really a good program to have those hygiene products or underwear or deodorant, that sort of thing.
Yeah, the hygiene has been a huge piece. It's expendable income that most of these families don't have, and the middle schools especially need those hygiene products.
Yeah. That's great. Thank you.
My pleasure. My pleasure. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, thanks for coming, Stephanie. Have a great day. Congratulations on your promotion.
Thank you so much.
All right, next we're going to move into the consent calendar.
Okay, got to get myself organized here. I apologize. Under consent, approve an order appointing Chris Hoy to the Marion County Public Safety Coordinating Council with a term ending June 30th, 2024. I would move that item.
All right, I second the motion. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All right, now we're going to move on to action items. The first item under action is Board of Commissioners, consider approval of incoming fund intergovernmental agreement with the Oregon Business Development Department in the amount of $975,000 to provide financial assistance for Marion County Public Works Building and Planning Department staffing costs due to the 2020 wildfires through June 30th, 2023. Scott McClure, good morning.
Hello. Thank you. Yes, Scott McClure, long-term disaster recovery manager. And as noted, one of the actions the state took during the wildfire recovery process, a lot of funding was backing up building and planning departments in fire-affected counties because they have more of a workload now. I mean, the good news is that people are rebuilding, but it's been a big extra burden on the departments. And so in our case, we applied for a $975,000 grant. And $610,000, that's projected to be last fiscal year and then this fiscal year. And going into 2023, another like $365,000. So that'll cover our costs, hopefully track pretty well going forward. So with that, your options are to accept the grant or not accept the grant. We recommend you do so. We would like the extra money to cover all the extra work.
You have any questions?
Just a comment. We basically made the decision to waive permit fees for people rebuilding their homes in the canyon, and we did that before we knew we were going to get paid back for it. And it's something that I'm grateful to the leadership of this county and to our planning department, because at the time, I remember, our planning department gets paid through fees. They don't get paid through general fund or some other form. And so I remember Brandon saying, we're kind of staring into the abyss here. If we have a $900,000 hole in our budget, that's a big problem, but we're going to take the plunge and do the right thing anyway. And I'm grateful to the folks who lobbied in the legislature to make all these departments whole for helping the fire victims. So this is sort of a happy end to the story, but I'm grateful that our folks were courageous enough to do the right thing even before we knew we were going to get paid for it. So.
I'm grateful to all of you too, since it was a decision before I got here. I like to see the work every month as it moves along. All right, thank you, Scott. All right, I'll take a motion to.
Okay, Madam Chair, I move that we approve the incoming funds intergovernmental agreement with the Oregon Business Development Department in the amount of $975,000 to provide financial assistance for Marion County Public Works Building and Planning Department staffing costs due to the 2020 wildfires through June 30th, 2023.
All right, I second the motion. Have any discussion? All right, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. Moving on to item number 2, under Human Resources, consider approval of the ratification of the Federation of Oregon Parole and Probation Officers FOPO Collective Bargaining Agreement, CBA, from July 1, 2021 through June 30th, 2024. And we're going to have Michelle Shelton and Under Sheriff Jeff Wood join us. And if you can both speak directly into the microphones, they're having a hard time hearing outside here.
Good morning, Commissioners. Michelle Shelton, Human Resources.
Jeff Wood, Under Sheriff for the Sheriff's Office.
And we are very pleased to be here to seek ratification of the Federation of Oregon Parole and Probation Officers, or known as FOPO, collective bargaining agreement contract. And with that, I'm going to turn it over to my esteemed colleague to discuss more about the contract and the successes we've had in this negotiation.
We didn't plan that, Commissioners, and I feel a little set up right now, I got to say that.
Perfect. Well, that's fair.
Commissioners, as you know, the Federation of Oregon Parole and Probation Officers, those are our parole and probation deputies. I believe last week you heard Commander Carvandi present his state biennial plan. These are those deputies that do the case management, that manage about 3,700 individuals, either on probation, post-prison supervision, or under our local supervisory authority. And they try to facilitate positive change on a daily basis, also hold individuals accountable and maintain the public trust and public safety. As I know you've gotten notes on this collective bargaining agreement, a 3-year collective bargaining agreement, I will say most of the information is just notes general neutral language, some minor cleanups in terms of alignment with our current county practices and our Marion County personnel rules. That said, there are costs that are noted within the collective bargaining agreement. That includes the duty officer. I believe we increased the pay $50 for the duty officer, and we also increased the incremental time that's associated with that duty officer position. We included an added holiday, Juneteenth. Our contribution costs, county contribution costs for health insurance are going up to caps of $1,850 for the next, I'll say, calendar year, $2,040 for the year after that, and $2,150 for the year after that. COLAs, which everyone always asks about, those will be a 2.5% COLA retro to July 1st of this year, 3% on 7/1 of 2022, and then 3% on 7/1 of 23. I will say we did renew side letters of agreement relating to ORPAT and our workers' compensation continuation of wage. That has been in effect for the last, I think, maybe 2 years with both FAPO, and I will connect it with our Marion County Law Enforcement Association. Probably the one thing I'm most excited about is this is, as I mentioned before, a 3-year agreement. I am absolutely thrilled about that, if I could just say for the record. I think this has been either my 6th or 7th contract with FAPO over the years. Some people will say incessant, but I will say it's been very challenging fiscally to plan for these contracts in alignment with the legislative session. We don't know what our funding will be in most cases. It's a challenge, and candidly, for FAPO, it's very, very frustrating to not, especially when you start dealing with financials, not receive an offer, not be able to negotiate, because we simply don't know what those costs are. And I will say, I will give our legal counsel, Jane Vetto, incredible amount of credit, as with Michelle. They persevered and they did it. I think my only contribution was the occasional sarcasm while we were in quorum, but that said, we're very, very happy with this. This allows us to budget and plan for budgeting for 3 years, which I really think is a win for both FAPO and the county. With that, I will close, of course, answer questions with Michelle.
I don't have any questions. I just want to say good job on getting to the 3 years. So however that worked out. We had a work session on this particular topic, and you guys dove pretty deep into the amount of effort and lack of efficiency, really, that occurs because of the former agreement. So well done. It's nice to shore up some time back in your life, I'm sure. Commissioner?
I'm sorry, Jeff. I forget. What's ORPAT stand for again?
Oregon Physical Abilities Test.
I just have to say that if he'd like to remember, we could send him through it. They do have volunteer options.
We do.
You could go run the
Everyone
workout.
is welcome.
I'll
to
come
attend.
watch. I know right where it is. I know the lady that runs it.
I could probably use the exercise, actually. This commission gig hasn't been good on my physical fitness. Okay.
Okay, I'll take a motion then.
All right, Madam Chair, I move that we approve the ratification of the Federation of Oregon Parole and Probation Officers Collective Bargaining Agreement from July 1st, 2021 through June 30th, 2024.
Great, I second the motion. Any further discussion? All right, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. Thank you both for coming. Have a great day.
Thank you.
All right, item number 3 on our agenda under Public Works. We have another PowerPoint. Hopefully the system works. We're going to consider approval of the contract for services with Radio Technology Services in the amount of $190,500 to provide project management consulting services for the VHF radio replacement project through June 30th, 2023. I'm super excited to hear what this is going to say, what you're going to say.
Good morning, Commissioners.
Good morning.
Good morning, Commissioners. I'm Brian Nicholas, Marion County Public Works Director. All right. Doesn't like this slide. As soon as the slide came up, it cut out on the
Look,
projector.
we have some expertise
Volunteer
coming
trying
out.
to help.
Sweet.
Might just be a loose connector.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry, folks, we're going to pause for a second so you can all see the PowerPoint.
Oh, look at that.
It's probably a loose connection. That's what it feels like in my life if things go wrong.
short where if it wiggles, it cuts out. So.
Be careful when I place my feet.
Thank you.
All right. Good morning. Once again, I'm Brian Nicholas, Marion County Public Works Director. So as you know, about 2 years ago, we initiated a project to replace the 2 radio systems that Marion County operates. And this morning, I'm here to request board approval for a consultant agreement related to that project. So we'll start with a little bit of status report on where the project is at, and then I'll talk a little bit more about the contract itself. So Marion County operates 2 radio systems. The Sheriff's Office has a VHF system, broadcasts on 2 channels, and we have transmit receive sites at 7 locations around the county, plus 8 more receive sites operating on the VHF spectrum. And then the Public Works Department has a much smaller system. Our needs are a lot simpler. We operate 2 UHF transmit stations, and these are all simulcast systems. Both of those systems are very much in need of replacement, and that's why the project was initiated a couple years ago. So back in July 2019, when we got this project started, we engaged AdCom Consulting Engineers to be our radio consultant, and they have completed a preliminary analysis of our existing site condition, our existing system, our coverage needs. We initiated a stakeholder input process with emergency response agencies around the county, so city police and rural and city fire districts and ambulance districts, and brought all that information together. AdCom is finalizing their system recommendations as a result of that work. And unfortunately, COVID put a hamper on our speed in which we were able to get that engagement done and pull this information together. So I've received their draft report, and so they're just in that final process of issuing those system recommendations. So the big picture that we've landed on for a solution is we're shooting for a county-managed radio system. Right now, the radio system that's in place serves a number of different agencies, and not just the Sheriff's Office. I'm talking the VHF system now. It serves not just the Sheriff's Office, but most of the METCOM member agencies. And it's sort of a collaboratively built, cooperatively maintained network. So when there's issues that come up, it's always a question of, okay, whose responsibility is to fix this? And then we're working off of different people's platforms. It can be a real challenge to manage. So we're shooting for a centrally managed system that has the capacity to serve all of those stakeholders. That's a real important outcome of this preliminary analysis. This needs to be public safety grade radio, so we're looking for a digital P25 system. And then interoperability would be built into that. So all of the emergency service providers that opt into this system within the county would naturally be interoperable. They'd be working on the same radio system. But we'd also have features that would connect us with Polk County, the city of Salem, and other agencies that the Sheriff's Office in particular needs to work with. And then the biggest thing is we are looking to make this as affordable as we possibly can, because those stakeholder agencies, they just don't have a lot of financial strength to offer to the program. And not noted here, but the one thing for me, the biggest thing that came out of this initial effort was I need more manpower in our shop to deliver this project. I mean, it really highlighted the fact that I need a dedicated project manager to deliver this project. So earlier this year, we issued a request for proposal for consultant services to provide that project management support. We got 3 responses, one from AdCom Consulting Engineer, the firm that we already have under contract for the engineering side, plus MDX from out of Colorado, and Radio Technology Services out of Canby, Oregon. And the selection committee selected Radio Technology Services for a number of reasons. They have a lot of experience pulling all the pieces, the technical side of pulling a project like this together, not just the engineering, but delivering the deployment of radio systems and helping clients transition out of their old radio system and into the new system successfully. So all of the consultants were well qualified. This consultant had some unique experience that kind of set them apart from the others. That was the basis of the selection. So in the consultant agreement that you have before, you'll notice the scope of services. We'll be asking the project manager to lead us through an effort to validate the system recommendations that AdCom's delivering to us now. We never have had a chance to go back with countywide stakeholders and verify that this is hitting their sweet spot and what needs to be tweaked in order to get to the solution that we really want to pursue that'll be affordable and still meet everybody's needs as well as we can within the budget, right? During this upcoming phase, it really is the project development phase. We'll be writing the system design and procurement specifications for the network systems. Site improvement designs, most of the sites need some work to be ready for new equipment, so some hard work on the ground improving sites. All this requires some cost estimating and radio management service or radio technology services will be helping us write our governance plan, our financial plan, and preparing that transition plan so we're ready for the transition to the new system. And then on top of that, if we do have this centrally managed system with user agencies around the county, we're going to be needing to develop those agreements, right? So that's the heart of the scope for radio technology services during this upcoming contract. The not to exceed, negotiated not to exceed contract value that we've come up with is $190,000. The slide is incorrect. It's $190,500. And the term for this initial phase that they'd be involved in, the project development phase, would run through December of next year. All right. And then just a little snapshot of where the project goes once this preliminary design phase is done. Then comes implementation, where we actually execute agreements. We do the actual procurement of the systems, install those at sites, make sure the system is up and running, and then we do that transition to the new system. And once that implementation period is over, then it is operation and maintenance of the system. So those are future phases that we very well may ask RTS to assist with in the future. So with that, I'd be happy to answer any questions.
I have a couple questions. So you'd mentioned that we're moving towards a county-managed system, and there'll be partnerships from stakeholders. Are those stakeholders going to have an ongoing investment into the system for upgrades and maintenance and so forth through some type of an IGA?
Yes, that's what those user agreements are. There's a couple of different ways in which those stakeholder agencies would be involved. One is we are proposing to establish a technical advisory committee that representative members from the stakeholder groups would be on that technical advisory committee, and they would provide input not only on the development of the project, but then management, operation of the systems once they're in place. So there's a direct connection where they have input into helping the county make the right decisions that work for everybody. So that's one piece where they plug in. The other one is, there is going to be some user fees. Even if we're successful in getting the initial construction capitalized, not using user fees, just the maintenance of the radios and building working at capital for future upgrades and replacement, that'll require some fees from those stakeholder agencies, but we're trying to keep those as reasonable as possible so we're not busting their budgets. It's something that they can afford to participate in. Most of those agencies are investing in radios anyway, so we're hoping to be able to work within or close to the budgets they have already established. So. Okay.
And then what's your all-in timeline that you're hopeful for this project to be up and going, radioactive?
Yeah. Well, it is feasible to have this up and running in 2 years from today. I mean, that's totally feasible from a technology and just the pace it takes to get a system implemented. The real unknown is the financing. Yeah.
Right,
So
I knew the funding was a challenge.
Yeah, so that really is our challenge, and that's the need for the financial plan is to really lay out those options, figure out what the true cost is going to be that we need to finance, and then figure out how we're going to finance that. So that'll be something we'll be working on during this term. And that's what makes it hard to say exactly what our final delivery date is going to be.
And so once this system is up and running, is it guaranteed to support our law enforcement and other emergency responders in the Canyon area, East County specifically, that really struggle to have any level of service right now?
Yes, it covers every populated area in the county. In fact, what we're envisioning is a system that provides better coverage up the canyon, particularly up in the Brighton Bush area, backwoods areas. The sheriff every summer is responding, and even on the margins, the early spring, late fall, where there's still quite a bit of snow on the ground, that's when I think it becomes particularly critical, because it's hard to roll temporary radio equipment up to the canyon, set it up on a hilltop, and have access back into Brighton Bush and back into Jefferson Park. So we're hoping that we're going to be able to cover those areas better with the new system. Train's still going to be a challenge, and we'll have some budget constraints, but so far what we have laid out as a concept that AdCom's come up with gives us better coverage everywhere you look up the canyon.
Great. Commissioner?
So when we started moving down this path and saying we're going to take this on as the county, there was palpable excitement from our agency partners,
Yeah.
like Woodburn Fire and, different emergency responders that also struggle and don't have the resources to really put this thing together. Are they still happy with the direction we're going? Are they comfortable that those maintenance fees are going to be something that they can afford? Are we comfortable that those maintenance fees are going to be enough to keep the system operating, assuming we can get the infrastructure money to build it in the first place? Can you just talk about is everybody still really happy about it? Because they were thrilled when we started, or as reality started to set in?
Right. I think, well, for some elements of the system, like I said, it's cooperatively built. So we run on little bits of each other's systems, and then the only thing we each own our own broadcast and receive antennas, but we run on each other's microwave backbone for the backhaul system, that sort of thing. So for some elements of the system, it's a little bit of a race against time. I mean, some of the stuff is reached either physically, the components are just old enough that they could break at any time and there's not a good replacement, or the technology that was used to build the system just needs to be replaced. So I'd say I think there's some anxiety over the pace at which we're moving. I think it's very fair to say that. And so I think everybody, particularly Metcom members, are just watching, waiting to see what we're going to do. But they're hoping that we move ahead quickly enough. We haven't really had enough of the financial picture really developed to give agencies a sense of what those user fees might be. But we do know, just looking at big picture numbers, that if we can capitalize the system using some other revenue source to get the initial system built, and then the user fees are really focused on daily maintenance and operation of the system, and then building that, working that capital we need so there's money in the bank when the next generation replacement needs to come along. If we can keep it in those user fees to covering those types of costs, it's going to be extremely economical.
Okay, great.
Okay. Thank you, Brian. Thanks for your work on this and for recognizing that folks are in a hurry. All right, I'll take a motion.
All right, Madam Chair, I move that we approve the contract for services with the Radio Technology Services in the amount of $190,500 to provide project management consulting services for the VHF radio replacement project through June 30th, 2023.
All right, I second the motion. Is there any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
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 Okay, thank you.
Thank you. We'll see you back in a bit. Moving on to consider approval of intergovernmental agreement with the Oregon Department of Transportation for Phase 1 of the I-5 Aurora Donald Interchange Exit 278 project, estimated at $48,273,000, which ODOT will provide an estimated $48,161,600 in state and federal funds, and the county will provide $111,400 in funding. And today we're joined by Lonnie Radke, our county engineer, and Janelle Shanahan.
Thank you. Good morning. For the record, Lonnie Radke, Public Works.
Janelle Shanahan, Public Works.
And exactly everything you just said. We're here today asking for an approval of the IGA with ODOT for an ODOT project. They have been working, we've been working with the team extensively over the last couple of years. And we are looking for an approval of the IGA for Phase 1 of the I-5 Aurora Donald Interchange project, in which we will be providing a minimal contribution of $111,400. Janelle will give us details about the project and the terms of the IGA.
Good morning. Yes, so we are here today for the ODOT I-5 Aurora Donald Interchange project, which is located in northern Marion County at Ellen Road as it crosses I-5. And to give a quick recap of the project, here we have an aerial of the existing interchange, which has its known challenges, and ODOT has had an interchange area management plan completed, which the county adopted in 2020. And in that IAMP, a diverging diamond interchange design was selected for the location.
So the challenges that are occurring here are at peak times, traffic backs up on the ramps and can clog the I-5 lanes, and also create challenges turning left at the ramps on Ellen Road. And then in addition, we have Bent's Road come very close to the off-ramp, the southbound interchange here. So funding for phase 1 plans have been secured and bid documents completed. So the Diverging Diamond interchange that was selected as the ultimate design for this location is shown here in this exhibit. And what it will do is it will construct a new I-5 bridge and realign the travel lanes on I-5. It will lengthen and widen both the on and off ramps, and also construct a sound wall and retaining walls by the RV park here in this southeast quadrant. It will widen Ellen Road and realign it on the west side through this property here, just north of Bent's Court. It will reconstruct and realign Bent's Road to align with Bent's Court, moving it from so close to the I-5 freeway further west. It will also realign Dolores Way to the east, and it installs 3 new traffic signals. These 2 are part of the Diverging Diamond, and then this is Ellen Road and Bent's Road on the west side. So the total project cost for this is $72 million, which is more than the available funding. So the project must be phased. So phase 1 was identified to provide the necessary safety and capacity enhancements within the available funding. And this illustrates what those improvements will be. It will construct the new I-5 bridge necessary, and it will lengthen and widen the off-ramps. It will construct the sound wall by the RV park, and it will widen Ellen Road, but will not do the realignment with this until the diverging lanes are implemented with the ultimate design sometime in the future. It will realign Bent's Road, and we'll have the new signal at Bent's Court, and then it will also have signals at the ramps. The Dolores Way realignment does not happen with phase 1 either. So the phase 1 project cost is $48.4 million, and the county is going to contribute $111,400 to phase 1. This is to give an exhibit of what Ellen Road will be looking like during the phase and ultimate design. It will be 4 lanes in both times. The phase 1 will have it all on the south side of the bridge widening. Detour routes will occur during phase 1. To do the I-5 bridge construction, Ellen Road will have to be closed, and it's anticipated that will take 4 3-day closures, and the detour route will take traffic up along 551 to Arndt and down Bent's in the red here. And then the off-ramp closures will be 2 different 3-week closures, and it will utilize the Woodburn ramps and 219, 99, 551, and then the Canby Hubbard ramps. So what's included in the IGA is that it says that the county will provide the $111,400 to the $48.4 million project. ODOT is responsible in acquiring all the right-of-way necessary for construction. And upon project completion, the county is accepting jurisdiction and maintenance over Ellen Road, Bent's Court, and the new traffic signal at Ellen and Bent's. Are there any questions for Lonnie or I?
So, can you go back to the slide with the detour routes?
Yep.
This is a high-traffic interchange, right? Anybody that drives up there knows that this is packed with semi-trucks. I mean, there's 2 truck stops, maybe 3 up there.
Yes.
So the expectation for the Ellen Road closure, Because it seems like those trucks, they're on that side. Are they expected to go up and around through that farm zone with these really narrow roads that are
So
subpar?
the Ellen Road closure, noted in red, is really just a hard closure. The ramps will still remain open during
Okay.
that time. It's a hard closure right at Ellen Road. And so this is for the through traffic traveling from the east or west on Ellen Road, not using the interchange. We have been looking at these roads, though, to make sure that they're suitable for the traffic, the increased traffic. We've already done some improvements on Bent's Road at the rail crossing to improve that and ensure that it's ready. And we're also looking at improvements to the pavement on Arndt Road.
Will the closure be during kind of off-peak season times for the ag community, the winery community, all the communities that are pretty popular out there in this summer, fall?
Seasonally, I'm not sure about that timing, but the 3-day closures are they're expected to be extended weekends.
Okay.
So,
Hopefully people just go out of town.
well, and that's really just, again, you can get onto and off of the freeway. You just can't get to the other side of the freeway right there.
Right.
And then the ramp closures will be a little bit longer, but you can use the other ramps nearby.
Is there a notification process that goes out to the businesses in the area
Absolutely.
saying that this is going to be
Absolutely.
impeding you?
We should, I almost put in a slide for communication. This is an ODOT project, and so they're definitely taking the lead on that. But there has been extensive outreach with open houses, the project website. There's been several stakeholder meetings. The relationships they've formed with the truck stops have been really strong, and those communications have really been good. So that they can come to agreement for everybody nearby. So they will be, ODOT will definitely be sending notifications for closures in Trip Check and on the project website and all of their usual notification processes.
Okay, thanks. Commissioner?
So I have some questions about how phase 1 is going to change how people use this intersection. Because this is a little bit different than I think some of the phase 1 drawings that I saw early on, probably because
Things have changed a little bit.
So, and it might just be that I forget what I was told. So there's these 2 truck stops. So if I'm trying to get to the truck stop north of Ellen Road, I'm going to have to get off the highway and then go all the way to this realigned Bent's Road. Is that right?
Correct.
I can't just sort of turn in the way that I can now.
Correct.
I'll have to, okay. So that'll help ease some of the traffic there at that
Yes.
corner.
That's a permanent change, right?
Correct.
Yeah,
Yes.
okay.
All right, so that's going to have an impact right away, even in phase 1. And then in phase 1, right currently, there's only 1 lane of traffic going each way under the highway, right? And so then it's going to be widened to 2 lanes going each way? is that
Currently,
right?
there's only 1 lane in each direction. In
Yeah.
phase 1, there will be 2 lanes in each
2
direction.
lanes
Do you
in
want to
each
go to the next? Yeah.
right there.
Yep.
So that's also going to be a help, because that'll increase some capacity right away,
Yes.
right? And currently, there's no signals, and
Correct.
in phase 1, there will be 2 signals.
3 signals, actually.
3, sorry, because the Bent's
Yeah.
Road being a realignment,
Yes.
sorry.
Yes.
Okay, so, and I'm sure the answer is yes, but you may not have it in front of you. So this phase 1 will increase capacity at this interchange right away, even before phase 2 comes, right? It'll make it easier for people to not get backed up or be in difficult situations, yes or no?
Yes, the major improvements will really be seen with phase 2 and the ultimate design. And that's why ODOT and the county have been taking extensive efforts to try to get the funding for the entire project, but we've tried, I think, 3 or 4 different grant processes, and we haven't been successful yet.
Right.
And so ODOT has had to decide to move ahead with the first phase instead of the ultimate design. There will be some benefits here, just like you just identified, but the big benefits we're going to see are when we get phase 2.
And why is that? Because it feels to me, and this is, I was sort of being optimistic, and you've just made me less optimistic. So it feels to me like having 2 lanes each direction, and not having both truck stops dump into Ellen Road will improve capacity and
They will.
allow more vehicles to use that interchange safely. Is that not the case, and
They
and why
will,
not?
but the delays we're going to see at the signals for the ultimate design with the diverging diamond will be a lot lower than with phase one.
Because currently, people will still be backed up at the signals under phase one, but you're saying under the diverging diamond, there won't be as much of a backup.
And they'll be spread out more, right?
It will, there will not be, the operations, go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say, the main reason for is the
That's what I
left
wanted.
turn conflict is removed with the diverging diamond. If you see here on the ramp, the northbound ramp, the vehicles can turn left without conflicting traffic.
Right. So is it gonna be?
It's like going onto a one-way.
Is it gonna
for
be,
them.
yeah, so if you're heading north and you take the exit and you're gonna go east, it's a continual, like, a yield, if you will, versus
Yes.
have to stop at the stop sign that's there currently and the future stoplight that will be there?
Yeah, east or
Yes,
west.
east or,
It'll
yeah.
be flowed.
Now, so
East
if
or
I'm,
west,
if I'm
both.
going north in the phase two diverging diamond, I don't have a signal to turn left onto Ellen Road, but I do have a signal once I go under the overpass, right?
Correct.
And so why, but you're saying, I guess I'll have two signals under the phase one. I'll have the signal at the off-ramp, and then I'll have another signal, whereas this, I only
Yes.
have one signal in the
Yes.
diverging diamond, is that right?
Yes,
Okay.
How exciting.
it is. This will be the second diverging diamond interchange in the state of Oregon.
So
Way to
you're
go, Marion
speaking
County.
of that as if like you're awfully confident, but, I mean, I don't mean this, I probably shouldn't have said it that way, but like, they haven't funded phase two, and I've now learned as a commissioner that it's like you can vote for something and 10 years later, it might possibly get engineering done. So, I mean, realistically, we could approve phase one and get it done in the next 4 or 5 years, and phase two might not happen for a while, right?
It's always a possibility, but it really is one of the highest priorities of ODOT's,
Okay.
so.
Okay,
All right, I will take a motion.
all right. Madam Chair, I move that we approve the intergovernmental agreement with the Oregon Department of Transportation for Phase 1 of the I-5 Aurora Donald Interchange Exit 278 project, estimated at $48,273,000, which ODOT will provide an estimated $48,161,600 in state and federal funds, and the county will provide $111,400. Is it $111,400?
Yes.
Okay. In funding.
All right, I second the motion. Is there any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Thank you both.
Thank
Thanks for all
you.
your work on this.
Thank you, thank you.
And I just want to say too, on the record, I really appreciate all of your support for my role on SCATs and all the other transportation things that I'm assigned to right now. Right now, I say that because December's coming fast. Yeah, thank you, yeah.
That's a big hint.
There's always a negotiation to occur, and I'm preparing myself to get there. All right, we're going to move on to the next item. Ryan Carruthers is joining us to consider approval of the standard professional services contract with David Evans and Associates Incorporated in the amount of $874,982.13 to provide architect and engineering services for the Hazel Green Road Northeast Pudding River Bridge Replacement Project through October 31, 2025. Hi, Ryan.
Hi, thanks for having me. For the record, Ryan Cruther, Marion County Public Works Capital Projects Manager. So as you said, we're here to talk about the Hazel Green Road Northeast Pudding River Bridge Project and our engineering contract with, proposed engineering contract with David Evans and Associates. Project's located just east of the city of Silverton, between Howell Prairie Road and Mount Angel Highway. You can see here on the map exactly where we're at. So the existing structure is a old timber bridge. It was funded through the local bridge program. It's a federal funding program for replacement. And these are a few photos of kind of that bridge. It does get overtopped during high rain events. So right now we have to close the road during heavy rain. So the project scopes to replace the substandard bridge, which was built in 1969 with a new structure that meets all current standards. It also requires realigning Torvin Road to accommodate the new structure. You can kind of see Torvin Road going to the north in that photo. And then we'd construct approach guardrail just for safety as required whenever we replace a bridge. The other thing you're going to see is we're going to raise that bridge. We're going to do a hydraulic analysis to keep the road open so you won't see it overtop during flooding events.
Is this the bridge that's right, kind of like in that gully right before the old dairy? Okay. Brian is shaking his head yes.
Okay, yes.
All right, I'm super excited that I won't have to go around in the winter.
Exactly.
You have to, anyway. It's quite the process when it floods out there.
Yeah. So our consultant that we selected through a qualifications-based selection process was David Evans and Associates. I won't read all of these, but I wanted to give people an idea of just how extensive this contract is. The contract scope includes project design, things like going out and surveying the existing topography, doing all of our environmental permitting, stormwater design, bridge design, our right-of-way services where we'll acquire the right-of-way needed for the project, and then they're also going to support us during bid and award of the project. The contract budget is $874,982.13. Of that, $192,983.98 are contingency tasks. Those are tasks that we have in the contract, so we have a price up front and we have hours dedicated to them, but we'll determine if we need them as we move through design. They're things like if we find wetlands, we'll have to do additional permitting to basically be able to do the project, and that permitting goes through Army Corps and DSL. There's a number of tasks like that in the contract. So our project schedule includes design it's starting in 2021, assuming that you approve this contract, and going through 2023, acquiring right-of-way in 2022, and constructing the project in 2024. And with that, I will open it up for any questions.
How's this project funded?
So it's actually funded through what's called the Local Bridge Program, which is a program ODOT administers. It's a federal grant program. And so they have funded the replacement of this bridge.
So we're not putting any county resources into it right now?
We're putting in a 10.27% match.
Okay. Thank you. I already said I was excited about this, but I'll say it again. Super excited. If you drive to Silverton down Hazel Green Road in the winter when it floods, you get to the sign that says, you have to turn around. You're already more than halfway there. So I like that sign won't be up. Any questions?
I do not. This is a good project.
It is a good project. All right, I will take a motion.
Okay. Madam Chair, I move that we approve the standard professional services contract with David Evans and Associates Incorporated in the amount of $874,982.13 to provide architect and engineering services for the Hazel Green Road Northeast Pudding River Bridge Replacement Project through October 31st, 2025.
I second the motion. Any further discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Thanks, Ryan. And you're going to continue to join us for the next item, and Brian Nicholas is going to come up to consider approval of the 3 Oregon Federal Lands Access Program FLAP grant applications for the North Fork Road Guardrail Improvement Project, the North Fork Road Kiosks Project, and the Wintel Road Reconstruction and Bridge 47C76 Replacement Project. There's no PowerPoint for this?
No PowerPoint for this one, unfortunately. No, but thanks again, Ryan Crother with Public Works.
Brian Nicholas, Marion County Public Works Director. I'll be your color commentator.
Perfect.
So to give some background, this grant program is a program that's out there to improve roadways that access federal land. So it's a program we can apply for grants for, say, North Fork Road, where it accesses all the federal land above at the end of North Fork Road. So some of the land that, say, North Fork accesses would be the Opal Creek Scenic Recreation Area, Wilderness Area, Bowl of the Woods Wilderness Area, Willamette National Forest, and BLM land. So with this round of grants, we've put together 3 grant applications. The first is our North Fork Road Guardrail Project. So there's a group with capital projects engineers along with our traffic engineering section that went and looked at this section, North Fork Road, and determined where we could use guardrail. And so they identified 6 locations with a total of 5,350 linear feet of guardrail that we could put in to improve safety on the road. So we do have North Fork Road temporarily closed, but we expect when it reopens, there will be a significant influx of recreation users and people accessing that federal land as soon as it's safe to do so. Because this is a safety project, the FLAP program requires no county match if we were successful in the application. So our actual county match would be 0%. The estimated cost of the project is $1,641,469. And I can stop for questions here, or I can go through the next two grants applications, whichever way you would prefer.
Keep going.
Keep going? Okay. So our next applications are North Fork manned kiosks. So these would include two locations, one at the intersection of North Fork Road and Highway 22. And when I say at the intersection, it would be up North Fork Road a little ways from that intersection. And the other near the intersection of Gates Hill Road and North Fork Road on Gates Hill Road. So what these would be is just like you would see at a lot of state parks, a actual manned kiosk where somebody's in there taking the user fee for the corridor. So what that would allow us to do is manage that corridor more easily, see where people are going, and it allow the users to basically use debit cards and credit cards to pay for that fee. And then we'd see real-time parking availability. People wouldn't be searching for a parking spot within our parks and trying to find a place to access the river. We could actually direct them to where there is an available parking area. It would reduce congestion within the corridor. And then there are various other, bonuses that I probably haven't listed here. So the estimate for that project is $1,173,917, and this one, the county share would be the standard match of 10.27%. The last one is not on North Fork Road. This is, we are applying for a project that would reconstruct a portion of Wintel Road between Jorgensen Road and Ankeny Hill Road and replace an existing timber bridge. So this Wintel Road accesses the Ankeny National Wildlife Refuge. So again, that's federal land. And there are pullouts and I believe trailheads in that area that users can go and access that land from. So by reconstructing this, we preserve the access to that property, and we improve that roadway. So the project would include reconstructing approximately 0.9 miles of roadway, and then also replacing that bridge with the existing bridge has a sufficiency rating of 61. This project is estimated at $3,716,857, and the county match would be $425,411, again, 10.27%. And with that, I would open it up to any questions you have.
So, the kiosks. I'm super curious about those. Can you tell me a little bit more about them? So you're going to have a person in them year-round, like 7 days a week? What's the?
I'll answer that. So 3 years ago, Marion County Parks, along with the Forest Service, Oregon Department of Forestry, U.S. Forest Service, BLM, those agencies that have recreational lands up the North Fork corridor, we all got together because we were all encountering the same issues, managing the corridor, not only managing just the volume of people and vehicles that flock up there in the summer, but also the environmental degradation from erosion and those kind of things that happen. And so we got together along with the sheriff's office because they're dealing with the safety factor of this every single summer. And we started talking about, okay, how could we work towards managing that corridor for recreation collaboratively and more efficiently? Because, I've got 3 parks, or we have 3 parks. U.S. Forest Service has 3 parks. Well, we're sending a person up there to go clean the restrooms, empty the garbage, and refill the toilet paper, and they're doing the exact same thing. There's certainly some efficiencies here if we can, get a working agreement and a cost-sharing agreement worked out. This was one of the primary management tools that team has put together. So we've worked out some strategies on how we can cooperatively manage the corridor for recreation, particularly during the summer season. So the concept here is these wouldn't be permanent kiosks that would be in the road 12 months out of the year. It would be there during the summer season, and it would be a movable building. So it's there when we need it, and we take it away when we don't need it. So it's a tool where people can, when they enter the corridor, they encounter somebody that has information for them, information about the corridor, what kind of recreational opportunities are there, where they can go, where there's parking available at that moment. And so we basically, instead of 4 agencies doing the exact same things in a very inefficient manner, we take those resources and one of us mans the counter, one of us takes care of of restroom, one of us is taking a look at parking and keeping track of parking availability, and all that information is being shared throughout the day. That's the strategy behind it. And this, having the kiosk is it's a cost, something that we don't have budgeted in the parks plan. So this is, just the budget strategy way of getting those funds to get that essential piece of infrastructure in place, and then we could start to implement that seasonal management plan. That's the strategy.
And so the fees for parking and whatnot up there will cover the cost of the position to man the kiosk?
We're thinking that it is, that it will work, because not only would we bring that revenue to the table, but Forest Service also has their revenue they'd bring to the table.
Okay.
BLM can have some revenue to work with. So we're thinking that it's feasible from that perspective.
Okay, interesting.
Brian, can you just give me background on federal lands access program grants? What agency are we applying for these grants, and where's the money coming from, and big picture?
Yep, this is one of those rare grant programs, transportation programs that don't flow through the Oregon Department of Transportation or through one of the regional MPOs like Metro. It comes directly from Federal Department of Transportation. So throughout the United States, the Department of Transportation has its own little highway departments. And they're located regionally around the United States. Our Northwest Highway Division is located in Vancouver, Washington. It covers Oregon, Washington, and Idaho. And it's the highway department for federal lands, those lands that don't have a state or county highway department, right? So, Rainier National Forest and Olympic National Forest, or the national parks, national forest lands, those kind of things. Ankeny Hill is a national wildlife refuge. That's also in that same bucket. And so this is a program that they use to grant to local agencies to pay for DOT's infrastructure, maintaining DOT's infrastructure. In the past, it was known as the Forest Access Program, and counties throughout the nation had designated roads called Forest Access Highways, and this money was exclusively for use on Forest Access Highways. Those roads maintained by states or counties that one of their primary purposes is to provide access to federal lands. So in theory, it's, the principle was it's a burden, financial burden to the county to maintain that road when one of its key functions is maintaining access to federal land that doesn't produce a tax base, right? So as a matter of equity, this program was created to help cities and states and counties with that cost, right? That cost burden. Well, the designation of a forest access highway went away more than a decade ago. So this is the program that replaces it. And the interesting thing about it is, the idea of a forest access highway was so ingrained that most agencies, North Fork Road is the only road in Marion County that was once designated as a forest access highway. So it's always been the road we've applied FLAP grants for. However, now that doesn't exist, things like Ankeny Hill, in principle, should qualify. And that's why we have the third one for the road reconstruction and bridge replacement on Wintel Road down in Ankeny Hill. We're kind of testing the waters with this one. We're just seeing how open the selection committee is to the concept, the framework that's built around FLAP that says access to any federal land should be eligible. So this will be the first time that one gets seen by the selection committee, and we'll see what kind of.
Is the selection committee in Vancouver then?
It is, yeah.
And do they have like a criteria for ranking? Have we put these projects before them in the past and they haven't gotten selected? Do you think they'll get selected this time? How do you?
Yeah, well, let's see, a little picture on the selection committee. It actually is a multi-agency selection committee. I think it's 50% federal DOT employees, 50% local stakeholders. So Brian Worley, our road program manager at AOC, he's on that selection committee. I think there's an Oregon DOT representative on it. So it's multi-agency. So there are local stakeholders that weigh in on those selections. And yeah, it's pretty. They have every year, every 2 years when they issue this, they issue guidelines about what's eligible and what the match cost will be, and they tweak it over the years, a little bit here, a little bit there, to try to focus on priorities. The fact that guardrail is 100% is eligible for 100% funding with no local match, it just speaks to the fact that it's a priority for this program to deal with roadside hazards on these rural highways using guardrail. They're really encouraging counties to invest in guardrail. And one of the reasons why counties don't invest in guardrails, once it's there and it gets hit, now you got to go maintain it, right? So there's a long-term cost to the county when you put those kind of features in. This is a way for DOT to incentivize counties to go ahead and make that jump, put in those safety features, for the long haul.
Yeah, well, and if you don't, there's the cost of people's lives if, you don't have that safety feature there. So.
Yep.
I just have one more question, because for the guardrails, there's a section of North Fork Road, and I wish I could describe it enough, but basically it goes from asphalt to gravel to asphalt again, and it's on a bend. And it's a slide area. It's like the most hazardous area on that road, I think, in my opinion. Is there a plan with all the recovery going on to improve that section of the road for safety, not just with guardrails, but also the slide prevention and?
So that's a great question, and actually that's some good background on this grant program. We were successful, I believe, in the last round of grants with a project that we got $7.3 million to mitigate the slide up there. And we're working through that design and looking at how we go forward with a design and use that money to best improve that area. Currently, we've got a consultant on board who's doing the design, and we're working through the process. So that was a previous grant application that we were successful with.
Yep. Now, the grant dollars we have in hand that we're actively working on that landslide repair project. It's not enough to repair the entire length of road. We're going to get about half of what's gravel fixed in this project, and we've already met with members from the flat selection committee to give them an update on where we're at. Because when that money was issued, there was some uncertainty about whether it would be enough. There was a lot unknown about the landslide and how much work it would take to stabilize the landslide. So this money was granted because it's kind of it was about what fit the flat program, the $7.3 million. And now that we've done field investigation, we have a preliminary design, we've been able to do some cost estimating using our consultant and provide that feedback back to the FLAP committee. They know where we're at. They know that once this project that's in progress right now, once it gets constructed, we're going to be following up with one final FLAP application to do the final segment of gravel road.
Okay.
So it's just going to take time.
Well, that's great. I'm thrilled to learn that.
Yep.
All right, anything further?
Nope.
All right, then I'll take a motion.
Madam Chair, I move that we approve 3 Oregon Federal Lands Access Program grant applications for the North Fork Road Guardrail Improvements Project, the North Fork Road Kiosks Project, and the Wintel Road Reconstruction and Bridge 47C76 Replacement Project.
All right, I second the motion. Is there any further discussion? All right, hearing none. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Thank you both for this and for your whole department, team work up there, doing some great things. I bet the residents will be surprised to see a kiosk, so I assume that there'll be a communication in place in the future to tell them, this is exciting, and it will be a management plan.
Yep.
Great. You know,
Right,
mean
thank you.
communication. Yeah, thank you. All right, well, that brings us to the end of our agenda, other than the calendar, which I'm excited for you to read because it's so long.
I bet you are. Well, today is October 6th, and we just completed our board session here in the Center Hearing Room. This afternoon, I'm not going to be at this, but I suppose you're going to be at the Woodburn meeting?
I'm not actually.
You are not? Okay.
I could have lunch with my mother-in-law from Missouri.
Well, that's very good.
I'm excited.
That's very good. So this afternoon, Wednesday, October 6th at 1:15 in the afternoon, we have a Board of Commissioners Chief Administrative Officer meeting with an executive session if needed pursuant to ORS 192.660 2A, B, D, E, F, H, I, located in the Commissioners Boardroom, 5th floor of this building. That's 555 Court Street Northeast in Salem. And this afternoon at 4 o'clock, we have a FEMA briefing for local officials located in the Commissioner's Boardroom on the 5th floor of this building. Thursday, October 7th at 9:30 in the morning, we have a department head and elected official meeting located in the Commissioner's Boardroom on the 5th floor of this building. Thursday, October 7th at 3 in the afternoon, we have an Association of Oregon Counties Health and Human Services Steering Committee meeting, and that's a virtual meeting. On Friday, October 8th at 10 in the morning, we have an Association of Oregon Counties District 6 meeting, and that's a virtual meeting. On Friday, October 8th at 2 in the afternoon, we have an Association of Oregon Counties Transportation and Community Development Steering Committee meeting, and that's a virtual meeting. On Monday, October 11th at 8 in the morning, we have an Association of Oregon Counties Natural Resources Steering Committee meeting, and that's located at the Oregon State Fair and Expo Center, 2330 17th Street Northeast in Salem. There's also a virtual option for that meeting. On Monday, October 11th at 10:30 in the morning, we have an Association of Oregon Counties Governance and Revenue Steering Committee meeting. That's also at the Oregon State Fair and Expo Center, 2330 17th Street Northeast in Salem, with a virtual option. On Monday, October 11th at 1:30 in the afternoon, we have an Association of Oregon Counties Legislative Committee meeting, and that's also at the Oregon State Fair and Expo Center, 2330 17th Street Northeast in Salem, and there's a virtual option. On Monday, October 11th at 3:30 in the afternoon, there's an Association of Oregon Counties Board of Directors meeting, and that's also at the Oregon State Fair and Expo Center, and there's a virtual option there. And then on Tuesday, October 12th at 7:30 in the morning, we have a State and Marion County meeting located at the Covered Bridge Cafe, that's 510 North 3rd Avenue in Staten. On Tuesday, October 12th at 9:30 in the morning, we have a management update located in the Commissioner's Boardroom, 5th floor of this building, 555 Court Street Northeast in Salem. On Tuesday, October 12th at 1:30 in the afternoon, we have a Health and Human Services Policy meeting located in the Commissioner's Boardroom on the 5th floor of this building. On Tuesday, October 12th at 2:30 in the afternoon, we have a Marion County Extension 4-H Service District meeting located in the Commissioner's Boardroom on the 5th floor of this building. On Tuesday, October 12th at 2:45 in the afternoon, we have a work session relating to the State and Mill City Lift Project discussion, and that's located in the Commissioner's Boardroom on the 5th floor of this building. On Tuesday, October 12th at 4 in the afternoon, we have a Marion County Public Safety Coordinating Council meeting located in the Commissioner's Boardroom on the 5th floor of this building. On Wednesday, October 13th at 9 in the morning, we have board session located in the Senator Hearing Room. That's this room. That's the 1st floor of this building, 555 Court Street Northeast in Salem. On Wednesday, October 13th at 1:15 in the afternoon, we have a Board of Commissioners Chief Administrative Officer meeting with an executive session if needed pursuant to ORS 192.660 to A, B, D, E, F, H, I, located in the Commissioner's Boardroom on the 5th floor of this building. And then on Wednesday, October 13th at 2 in the afternoon, we have a work session relating to a homelessness update in the Commissioner's Boardroom on the 5th floor of this building.
Good job.
There you go.
Yeah, I'm just tired thinking about it. Well,
We have a busy week.
we do. You have anything you want to share?
Nope, just still at it, still working.
My in-laws just got in last night from Missouri. They drove here and stopped along the way because we have family across the country, and they're going to be here for the next week or so. And so today they're going to come down. It's my father-in-law's birthday today. He's going to come see our office, so you'll get to meet them if they're around. They're quite the hoot.
That's awesome.
I'm going to take him to lunch. So, yeah, lots going on. Just for the community's knowledge, was it last week or the week before that Better Cities contractor went up to Detroit and Gates, did the listening session on kind of how to recover those two communities through commercial activity. Maybe it was the week before. And I believe this week we're going to be posting a link for folks that missed that, those live person events. I believe the county will probably post them on our Facebook page, and the cities will have them on their social media platforms, both Gates and Detroit, and also on their websites for the community to listen and then engage. There's a survey, I'll call it, available for community members to participate in. And I would really encourage people to look for that and participate, because I think their input is critical to the recovery up there, especially in the concepts of rebuilding, recovering the downtown city community type perspective of both of those areas. So I didn't get to attend in person, but I did just watch back both events. And there was lots of chatter. Folks had lots of input, so excited to see that move along.
It's wonderful.
Yeah, all right, if there's nothing else, then we will adjourn. Have a great day.